Hello and welcome, my name is Kyle for the win, and welcome to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Best Class Setup video. Finally, I have gotten you guys my nuclear best class setup. If you guys remember, I posted a video about a month or two ago showing you guys my very first nuclear in Black Ops 4, and I was using this gun. The class setup is a little bit altered compared to my original class setup, but pretty much everything is the same except for one attachment. Now, the gameplay in the background is one of my best TDMs ever. I apologize for the really jerky type playstyle that I went for with this gameplay, but believe me guys, I had to play this way because I was playing against a full party of snipers. So, believe it or not, the playstyle looks absolutely horrible, absolutely just completely sweaty, but I had to play this way or else I would not have been able to last in the lobby. Anyway guys, the SWAT RFT is by far my favorite assault rifle in the game, and of course I have that really good attachment to it because I got the nuclear with it, but I mean, it's just a fantastic gun in general, one of the best DLC weapons, and I think this class setup is really good. Now, jumping in here with the attachments for the SWAT RFT, I have gone for the reflex sight, the long barrel attachment, the suppressor attachment, and finally stock. I believe my nuclear class setup had high caliber or FMJ, but the reason that I switched over to suppressor was just because I felt like the gun wasn't doing as much damage as I would have liked it to. After my nuclear, I set out to get some gameplays for you guys, and nothing really impressed me. None of the gameplays impressed me with having that FMJ attachment on there, so that's why I switched FMJ for the silencer. So starting off here with the reflex sight, I've gone for the reflex sight just for that sheer fact that for some reason the gun feels really weak with iron sights and feels ridiculously good without them. So with the reflex sight, I don't know why that is, but it just, for some reason, the red dot sight feels really good. The iron sights are amazing, don't get me wrong, but the reflex sight just feels so much better, much more, and I feel much more consistent with my kills using the reflex sight. But of course, it's up to you guys. You can use iron sights or whatever you feel best with. And of course, these class setups are very subjective, so whatever you like to use is, of course, all good. Next, I have gone for long barrel and suppressor. I've gone for long barrel just because I like that extra damage range, but of course the suppressor negates it, so the damage range is just equal to how it is without any of these attachments. So the reason I've gone for the silencer though is because, and the long barrel of course, is because having the suppressor take away none of the damage range is just a big bonus in my personal opinion. You can be stealthy and kill enemies from far away without having to worry about getting shot in the back or shot around corners or anything like that, because you are being invisible on the radar. And you know, just I like the suppressor and long barrel mix because it just feels like a solid class setup. Finally, I've gone for stock because I always use stock on assault rifles in this game that have stock, because stock just feels so good with guns, especially assault rifles, because you can get that quick mobility, you can get those easy kills, and I just like being more mobile versus if I didn't have stock and I'd be kind of, you know, a little bit slower moving, and that's why I love stock so much on this gun. Now, the gameplay in the background is bare bones, so I didn't have the acoustic sensor, which is my gear, but the reason that I took dead silence off and put acoustic sensor on to replace that is because acoustic sensor is amazing. As I've said in all of my best class setup videos, you guys already know that I love using the acoustic sensor. Just even though they nerfed it to where you can't pick up enemies as easily, you can still hear enemy footsteps from pretty far away, and that's what I really like about using acoustic sensor. Number one, if they aren't using dead silence, I can see them, and they're from pretty close, but I can also hear them, and that's just a big advantage for me, because what I always take advantage of is awareness, and that really helped me get the nuclear with this class setup, because I knew where all the enemies were, I knew where they were coming from, I was able to adjust and move my accuracy to where the enemies were, and find the enemies and be able to get that nuclear and get that 30 gun streak. So all of these attachments and stuff are to help get a nuclear. Of course, I definitely would recommend, if you're going for a nuclear with this specific class setup, to get rid of either long barrel or suppressor and put on high caliber. And the reason I say that is because you can get into a gunfight, and it can be a really close gunfight, but the odds of you winning that with high caliber go up, especially if you get a headshot. So this is just a regular SWAT RFT class setup, kind of. That was a nuclear class setup, but I kind of tweaked it a little bit for my current playstyle. But if you are going for a nuclear with this class setup, I cannot recommend enough that you put high caliber for either suppressor or long barrel. But again, back to acoustic sensor, I just like having that knowledge about where enemies are, so I can get those easy, quick kills, and I know exactly where the enemies are coming from. And finally, I have no perk 2s, no perk 3s, which may or may not negate the suppressor a little bit because you don't have ghost or dead silence, so enemies with the acoustic sensor can still hear you and see you if there's a UAV up, but other than that, you're pretty much stealthy. Especially because nobody really uses the acoustic sensor anymore, I don't think it's a big deal. And of course, for my perk 1s, I have gone for my standard perk 1s, which consist of flak jacket and scavenger. Again, pretty much these will be my class 1 perks for the rest of Black Ops 4. Now that I'm Master Prestige, and I've been Master Prestige for a while, and I've been using these perks for so long, there's no reason for me to take them off, just because they're just so good, they blend so well together, and especially because I tend to go on some pretty decent kill streaks. And of course, going for nuclear, if you don't have scavenger on, you will have to pick up another weapon. So, and that would just completely negate the whole class setup. So scavenger, great perk, you can run around with a lot of ammo, keep that ammo, and continue on your gun or kill streak. And finally, flak jacket, because who likes dying by explosives? Absolutely nobody. And plus, the fire resistance is huge with flak jacket, and as well as it helps you heal faster. So 3 fantastic benefits for having flak jacket. So definitely when you're going for nuclear, don't use anything but flak jacket. Maybe put tac mask in that place, but then you'll get blown up by stuff. So either way, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to use this as a nuclear class setup, then of course go ahead. That is up to you. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the full class setup. I will put the full class on the screen right now for you guys to check out, so you can see absolutely everything. And of course, these are all subjective. Use whatever you like. This is just what I like to use and what helped me get a nuclear. Anyway, guys, I have a whole bunch of other best class setup videos down below in the description for you guys to check out in the playlist, and I will be covering some more guns soon. If you guys have any gun in particular you'd like me to cover, make sure you leave that down below in the comment section, and I will definitely try and cover that gun next. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are having a great week, and I will see you guys on another Black Ops 4 video very, very soon.